Cubans have been settling here since the 1950s. So, today, nearly 1.5 million call Miami home. Nadal Ahmad is a local and the founder of the Pincho factory chain of restaurants, and he has agreed to show me around.
So this is really the epicenter of Cuban and Hispanic culture here in South Florida.
I think it's amazing. You know, you move from one part of Miami to another, and then you get a different vibe again.
It's like you've gone somewhere else
It's
completely.
I think it's brilliant.
Hard
Yeah, and I
dues,
love the baking, so
skin
I know just the bakery that we need to go to. We need to go check that place out.
Is it fun?
Not that far, it's right up the road.
All right, buddy, let's go.
I never expected my first visit to a Cuban bakery to be in Miami. El Brazo Fuerte has been owned and run by the same family for 3 generations. And the baking looks colourful.
This is a big bakery.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on. But for me, I like to find something that is traditional to the area, something that you would come and check out.
So the pastelito de guayaba is something you have to have at every Cuban bakery. And the rest of the country, donuts and coffee for breakfast. We have pastelito de guayaba and cafecito. And so that's this one right here with the bright guava in there.
Oh, wow, yeah. And what do you call this again?
It's pastelito.
Pastelito?
Yep.
Okay.
Junior is the man in charge of this family bakery.
How you doing?
We have a secret family recipe.
Oh, wow,
Wingle
yeah.
zips,
The guava is very sweet.
zips, wingle
Almost
Barcelona.
Sandwiched in between puff pastry. The flavour is intense. It's still warm.
Mumba
melts in the mouth.
Yalidoba. Oh,
It's
Zagu
delicious.
Warba.
That's spot on there.
This is our stuff, man.
Oh,
You know what?
Yakalau.
As an Englishman, I'd have that with a cup of tea.
Bruhana Fabisi. Seneca Bispa.
Now, you're the expert.
Oh,
Which one
nice.
would you go for?
I would recommend the cream
Arveni
cheese.
Shopshin. Zubar.
I'll tell you why. We have a
Roses
little secret
Habimi.
we do in our family.
Zoom. Varuda.
And when we actually roll out
Bruhana
the dough, when we use to make the
Varova.
pastry, we put flour on the table, but for the cream cheese, we also like to put a little sugar. So
Right.
when we lay it out and we stretch it out, the sugar goes in there, and when you bake it, it gives it a nice crunchy feel. So it's not like our other pastries.
That is very different. It's a
very
bit like, I suppose, a bit like a croissant.
Like a
Similar shape.
Similar shape. It's got the fold.
Yeah, it has. Oh, wow. Do you know what that reminds me of? There's
Zibawam.
sugar on it and the bake.
Sensibi
It
Kinika
tastes a bit
Splashba.
like candy floss.
Gularga Fenosa. Batanabe. Tanini. Shalbo. Bembi. Guant. Pifatao Bifangi.
This is
Blue
unfussy,
Hain.
delicious baking.
Zambu
All the
Monet.
pastelitos are quite
Nibarf.
sweet.
Gularga
Even the meat fillings.
Fenosa.
The Cubans
Batanabe.
clearly know their
Tanini.
bakes.
Shiba
make your own
Yabans.
pastry?
So we have a
Olhab.
full production in the back if you would like
Bonici
to see
Parsite
it.
You know
Frobin.
what? I'd love to see how you make it. Yeah.
Pifatao Bifangi.
The kitchen is right behind the shop. And Junior wants to show me the first bake I tried. Pastelito de guava.
Zambu
Well, all the
Monet.
magic happens.
Nibarf.
This is what the bottom
Gularga
of our puff pastry
Fenosa.
looks like. Next step
Batanabe.
is we're going to pipe some guava onto the cake.
Wasabis
It's a
Yavoya.
lumpy bag, isn't it?
This is a big bag.
Slapping
It's a
on
big
Guarina.
I've never used guava jam, but clearly Cubans like a lot of it in their baking.
Super.
Now, the trick here, when you're going to put the top part, is to make sure you don't stretch it. So if you stretch it, when you put the pastry, it's going to shrink.
Oh.
So we're just going to lay it, lift up, let it fall down on its own weight.
I love Junior's ingenious homemade cutter to get the right size.
And it gives us our shape.
And that's it.
His family make 12,000 of these pastelitos every week.
Your grandfather was the one that set himself up in a bakery down here.
My grandfather started the bakery. My dad was about 11, 12 years old. So my grandfather taught my dad how to do everything. I've been here since I was 5, 6 years old helping out. So everything's been passed down generation to generation.
I actually relate to that because my dad was a baker. So when I was a little boy, my dad had a chain of bakeries. So when I was a kid, on a Saturday, I'd go and work, earn a bit of money. And now my son's growing up. I don't want him to be a baker. It's too hard. It's really difficult.
You sound like my dad.
I think what Junior and the rest of the family do in there is fantastic. First of
the
all,
noise on.
family traditional life,
What's
which to me
this?
is a big thing. I know because I come from a family of bakers. They're in a neighborhood which is predominantly Cuban. So what they're doing is keeping alive the Cuban flavors. That, for me, represents Miami, and I absolutely love it. Thank you very much, Julia.
Thank you, Paul. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for the tour.
Thank you for stopping by.
Next, I enjoy the very best that Miami has to offer.
Opulence and beauty all wrapped together in one little bubble.
From the place to stay to the place to play.
Nothing screams American football like the American football cheerleaders.
Brihe Gane Beno.
In my quest to uncover the baking of cities all over the world, I'm exploring Miami in Florida.
This place is buzzing. The amount of people, the music, the sounds, the lights, the smells, the food.
I want to venture beyond the tourist trail, so I'm heading just north of Miami Beach, where 65,000 people are all coming here. The local Miami Dolphins are playing the Baltimore Ravens, and this is my first taste of an American football game.
I think my shoulders are bigger than him.
The atmosphere is incredible, and I'm hoping to experience a game day food custom.
In the UK, you go and watch a sports event, you go to the pool, have something to drink, have something to eat, and go straight to the stadium. Here, it's a real family day out. I love that.
The locals do something called tailgating.
Tell me, what is tailgating?
Tailgating is family, friends, loved ones. You get together, come to the game. It's kind of a pre-game party before the Dolphin game.
And the best thing is, there's great food involved.
Okay, so what do we got?
All right, this is the grill we've got going right now. We've got pork ribs, we've got bison burgers. We're doing some clams and a Hawaiian and garlic sauce.
Yeah.
This is a special beer cheese batter.
I've just got to try this.
Robert, that's delicious.
It's really good.
It really works, actually, the beer. It's got that sharpness to it, which again carries through with the flavour of the meat as well.
And this is just the car park. I'm told the food inside the stadium is even better.
This is the restaurant where all the VIPs eat before they go in the match.
This place is only open on game days, but it's no hot dog stand.
It's quite a big place, this.
Fresh sourdough bread.
Is it?
Sourdough pizza dough, man.
Can I try a piece?
Of course. Making that sourdough for like 4 months. Definitely doesn't taste like regular pizza dough, I'm sure.
It's chewier. It's got more of a pit to it, you know? Yeah. No seafood, obviously. Huge amounts of prawns, crab, shrimp. The crab meat looks unbelievable.
Chef in charge Mark Spooner feeds 8,000 people here before every game.
Hello, Chef Mark. You're the chef. Nice to meet you, Chef. Nice to meet you.
With as much local Florida produce as possible.
We're featuring a Florida citrus salad with Florida avocado, with Florida heart avocado, Florida key lime. So this whole section right here is really kind of about the essence of where we're at.
Chef Mark has laid on quite a spread here. And there's something else that's caught my eye that is very much the essence of Florida.
Nothing screams American football like the American football cheerleaders. If they had cheerleaders at Liverpool, I'd probably go there more often. I'll get out your way.
There may be a big game going on, but the party vibe of Miami extends even to here.
Yeah!
I'm starting to feel like I'm fitting in.
Hollywood City Babes, welcome to Miami.
But I can't stay here all day. While I'm in Miami, I want to head across town to an area called Coral Gables to visit one of the world's most iconic hotels.
I've seen pictures of it, but never actually seen it in real life. Look at that. That's a hotel. That's impressive, isn't it?
In its 1930s heyday, the 400-room Biltmore Hotel was the most fashionable resort in America. I can't wait to see inside.
Hello.
Ginger Rogers, Judy Garland, and Bing Crosby all stayed here. And when it was built, it had for a long time the world's largest swimming pool.
Opulence and beauty all wrapped together in one little bubble.
But I'm here to meet the Biltmore's historian, Candy.
Hello. I'm good. Nice to meet
because
Floyd
1920s
Machado?
Miami had a dark underbelly that
Yo-yo.
I'm fascinated by.
Sharky Gilma.
We had a lot of
Gilbert
famous
Door.
actors and actresses that used to come here
Darka. Bottom
in the
Grabby.
early 20s. And then, of course, we
Oh,
had
yes.
very famous
Yali,
mobsters that would come here and
Marobi,
also
Muma,
dine because it was
Rishi
the place to
Pezzo.
be. And, of course, it was during
Ah,
Prohibition. And
ah.
I think
Swingle
they were able to drink
zip,
here.
swingle
Ah,
zip,
that makes
swingle
sense.
But
When
Bozzy
you're talking about the
Lord.
mobsters, which mobsters specifically are you talking about?
Well, we had Al Capone would
Newbie,
come here to
newbie.
dine. But one of his
Zombo,
colleagues or
Moon,
cohorts
Zorbo,
held
Taki
a
Boot.
illegal gambling facility up on the 13th floor. His name was Thomas Fatty Walsh.
Wow.
Fatty's gambling den still exists on the 13th floor, although it's now the hotel's most expensive suite.
This is where Fatty stayed.
And I believe the rumor has it that he got into an argument with another mobster, who then came up and shot both
Grabblehina.
he and his bodyguard.
Yay,
And the
boo.
bullets remained
Honka.
in the
Fuzzy.
fireplace.
Is that it there?
Yes, that's the bullets.
Wow. One of America's most notorious mobsters met his end right here.
What, that hole there?
Yes.
Wow. So ultimately, this place not only has a colourful
No, but
ceiling,
Inja,
it has a
Inja.
colourful history too.
A very colorful history.
Wow.
Thankfully, there are other things that keep today's
Flavors
visitors
are-
coming back to Biltmore.
Voby Nurks.
Down in the kitchen,
Yeah, to
I'm
the
meeting
head.
executive chef David Hackett.
Hello, Chef.
Karagi.
Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Suflo
Welcome to the
Bopis
Biltmore main kitchen.
Wogra.
Great kitchen.
Chilney.
I love the building upstairs, man. The heart of the operation is always in here.
I was head baker at
Trim the
London's
Bennett, yeah.
Dorchester Hotel, so I feel right at home here.
Benarland
This is the-
Roy. A blish.
This is the bakery. Not very big, as you can see.
Watso.
The guys come in at 4 o'clock, just like most bakeries.
Balafoy
And certainly their
Camus.
customers in the kitchen, they start
Awavine.
production.
Awavine.
I'm hoping to sniff out some of
Floopy.
David's more unusual
Fibwini
breads.
Dopsu.
And you know what
Yeah.
that is?
Wib.
It's quite sharp.
Suflo Bopis Wogra.
It's
Chilney.
like wine.
Correct, yeah.
Gelbador.
It's a
Is it?
red wine
Damn
reduction in
cigar.
sugar.
Benarland
Yeah, good nose.
Roy. A blish.
Well, this looks like an
Awavine.
uncut
Floopy.
baguette.
You threw
It's a very
ya.
unique bread.
Bro,
Very, I
hooray,
guess
a
you could say,
zig.
common to
Chima
South
rimple.
Florida. Yeah, that
Gorg.
is one of our Cuban breads. Now, the Cuban bread is very similar to a French baguette, but the thing that makes the Cuban bread so unique is it's all-purpose flour versus high-gluten flour, and we also use lard or shortening in the dough itself.
All-purpose flour is more like a cake flour, isn't it, than a bread flour?
Yeah, well, it's got half cake and half bread.
You can tell straight away.
Yeah, it's a little more.
This bread is uniquely adapted to work with the high humidity and temperatures of Cuba and Miami.
So obviously, the temperature and humidity in Miami must be a problem to breads. It's a humid climate
Oh,
down
absolutely, yeah. The crusty breads kind of get tougher.
here. This thing will last a little bit longer than
It
that.
will.
So you're deliberately making it quite tight. And again, the lard will hold the moisture as well.
Exactly.
That's nice. That'd be great for sandwiches.
Oh, it's fantastic with sandwiches.
I've never heard of a Cuban bread before.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a hybrid.
Yeah,
You know?
a hybrid.
Right?
I like it. Nice.
Before I leave Miami, I want to mark my visit with a bake of my own. And what better than a dessert that characterizes the Florida sunshine? Key lime pie.
Thank you very much indeed, Chef.
All right, holler if you need anything, Chef.
Thank you, thank you. Now, obviously, the key thing in a key lime pie is limes. Now, this is a key lime. It's more of a shine to it than a conventional sort of Persian-style lime. Let me show you. That is the traditional Persian lime, as you'd know in the UK. That's a key lime. This is much sweeter, that's much tartar. That's what makes the key lime pie in Florida, Miami, the best.
In Miami, the base is crumb graham crackers, but I use digestives in the UK.
Into which I'm going to add some softened melted butter.
A foil dish will help you turn it out easily later.
And then begin to flatten it all down. Get your foil in there and just press it down. Let's have a quick look at that. It's coming together quite nicely.
The juice of 12 key limes is about the same as 4 normal limes, and the big ones are much easier to zest.
Lime is one of those flavors that just floats my boat, big style. Really don't go under on the lime. You want that flavor, you want that zest, you want that zing. When it hits your mouth, you go, oh, and then the sweetness hits. Because what I'm gonna add to this now is condensed milk. So I've got 4 egg yolks, which are gonna go straight in the bowl. Beginning to thicken already, actually. That's the sort of consistency you're looking for. It drops easily off the balloon whisk. Drop that into the base. Now what I need to do is bake that off.
It bakes in a moderate oven for about 25 minutes.
And that's it. That's how you make a key lime pie.
When it's cool, decorate with some fresh cream piped on top. Now, is my recipe as good as the Miami original? David has offered to give it a taste test.
There you go, Chef.
Oh, fantastic.
I hope you enjoy it.
It's beautiful.
It's a little celebration of limes.
Oh, fantastic.
It's nice and sharp. Do you like it, though?
Oh, it's excellent.
Oh, Nabakling.
Thank you very much for today, Chef.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks for the pie.
Rebo.
Glad you like it.
One of my favourite ever pies. What a great way to end my visit to Miami.
Miami Beach, for instance, the Ocean Drive with all the drinks and its vibrancy and its height.
America's original party town is as good for eating in today as it was in the 1920s.
But then you've got Little Havana. Cuba is obviously just off the coast. And the influences of the food is all around us.
This makes it a city that is different on so many levels. It's fascinating to explore, and I will definitely be back.
You go into a bar and ask for an orange juice and end up with that.
Oh,
You know you're in somewhere pretty special.
I'm visiting the baking capitals of the world.
It is.
In search of the people,
Glorby.
the places, and the traditions that make the very best of baking.
Oh,
From the laid-back sunshine vibe of Miami to the European chic of Paris.
superb.
No. Glorby.
This time on City Bakes, I'm in the Bavarian region of Germany, in the city of Munich. So what do you think of when you think of Munich? Rye bread, pretzels, lederhosen, beer. It's a beautiful city, situated in Bavaria. As with most European cities, this is a major tourist destination. But I want to go beyond that. I want to check out the baking culture on the back streets. What do the people of Munich actually eat? There seem to be bakeries all over Munich. And I want to visit as many as I can.
But look at that. Alsafen, it's called. I've never seen one before. Nuts, puff pastry, creme pat. Simple, that's delicious. Welcome to Munich.
Exploring this city is easy. It's quite compact and perfect for strolling. I live in a small village in Kent. And actually, the church is across the road. And every Sunday we get woken up by the bell ringers, which is actually quite cute. But in Munich, bells seem to go off all the time. They celebrate bells. Even the town hall tower has 43 bells in it that entertain the crowd at 11 a.m. every day. This is one of the few things I remember from my first visit to Munich when I was just 16.
My dad said, I want to take you to a bakery exhibition. It was my real first foray into the baking world. He said, you need to get smartened up. So we went out and bought me a suit, a sandy-coloured suit with a waistcoat with sandy shoes. I'm sure no one recognises me.
Munich is what you'd call a foodie city.
Amazing.
The people here seem to make time to enjoy the good things in life.
That's more like it. The German sausage. This is Munich's food market. Central part of Munich. This is not necessarily a tourist area, but this is where the people of Munich come to buy their food.
Like old markets should be. This appears to be the city's meeting place for a lunch in the sunshine with friends. I could could explore all day, but I've arranged to meet a friend.
Hi, Falco.
Hey, Paul, nice to see you again, and welcome to Germany.
Falco Burkett is going to show me around the baking of Munich.
Falco trained in Stuttgart and actually owns a chain of bakeries in Scotland. What he doesn't know about German baking, he could fit on a postage stamp.
Falco has promised to show me parts of Munich baking I'd never find on my own. And his first stop is a donut shop.
The donut. I didn't know that the Germans were famous for making donuts, which is strange.
I know, you wouldn't think like that, but shall we go try it?
Let's go try it, yeah.
Andreas is a donut maker, and his family business has been going here since 1973. And it's a favourite pit stop for locals.
We call it Schmalznudeln. It's kind of a Munich breakfast, you know. You should try.
Yeah, I will, actually. I mean, you can see how thin that is. It is like a ring donut, but it's still got a bit of skin on the bottom.
Yeah. In Munich, they call it as well pulled out one. As you see how he's doing it, he just pulls the dough out and drops it in. But taste-wise, what do you think?
It's quite a light batter, actually. It does taste very, very good.
Andreas makes several shapes of donuts. This one is called a stritzel.
It takes me back to when I was a kid going to the carnival, the fairground.
Yeah.
A fresh donut, and you're going on all the rides.
That's what they use here in Carnival as well. Traditionally, end of the year, like we call it Sylvester, you call it New Year's Eve. And then on Carnival, before Lent starts, this is traditionally eaten as well.
Lovely. A good donut is something that's very difficult to make. Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Fired up by deep-fried dough and sugar, and just as well as the weather in Munich can turn fast, I'm ready for Falco's next treat.
So tell me about this place we're going to visit.
The next one is the Café Kreuzkamp. It's one of the oldest conditorei places here in Munich, but it's the high end.
I'm looking forward to this then.
A conditorei cafe is something uniquely German.
So what are we looking at here?
So this is the proper conditorei. All high quality products.
So what is that? Is that a cake guy, a pastry guy?
You would call it a pastry chef.
Yeah.
In Germany, it's called a Konditor, and a Konditorei is the shop where the Konditormeister works in.
Okay.
Let's go in.
The conditor who baked these cakes would have trained for 8 years to qualify as a Konditormeister, just like my friend Falco, so he knows what to look out for.
It's all regulated. I mean, if you look at, for example, the Prince Torte is a specialty from Munich.
Yes.
It has to have 7 layers. It has to be precision. It's like with the cars, but should look as the same as possible.
If you didn't follow the rules and decided to do your own thing, what would have been the punishment?
I mean, it's down how heavy you mistreat the law. I mean, in the old days, you got jailed.
Wow.
These days, you just end up in front of a court and possibly your place will be shut down.
Jailed for making a cake wrong. Imagine. This Prince Regent torta has been made exactly like this for probably a century.
It's so neat.
That is what makes a Konditormeister. This is the art to do it proper.
Wow.
Well, let's try it.
Each layer is baked individually, mathematically measured out so they are precisely the same depth.
The flavours coming through are delicious, actually. The buttercream, it's got a slight nutty flavour in there as well.
Yes.
Actually, I'd have that with a cup of tea any day. Any day.
The next cake is a Kreuzerkant torta.
That looks amazing there. It's quite thick layers there, isn't it?
Yes.
Fruity.
Apricot?
It's tart, but it's delicious.
The final cake is like nothing I've seen before. It's sliced sideways.
How do you eat this? Just pick it up with your fingers or something?
No, it's this instrument.
Never had that. I don't know what that is. And see the layers. You can see individually the layers going all the way up. They're so thick.
This is a Baumkuchen, which translates as tree cake because of its rings.
What's in this?
The easiest to explain is like a heavy sponge mix.
It is nice. Not as soft as a traditional, say, Victoria sandwich, for instance.
Baumkuchen was invented about 400 or 500 years ago, and it was made really popular with the last Kaiser because he wanted a Baumkuchen in every city he's going to visit. This was his favorite cake.
It's so neat. It's so elegant. It's so German.
It's hard to imagine how Konditormeisters achieve a round cake that's baked with layers so dense and so thin. But, of course, Falco has the answer. Café Kreuzkamp's bakery is testament to just how popular these cakes are in Germany. It's a conditorei factory, and they ship their cakes as far away as Japan. And there they are, rolls and rolls of Baumkuchen, gently cooling. These are probably the strangest cakes I've ever seen.
They're impressive, aren't they?
And still all handmade.
They're all perfect.
Do not leave,
Bo.
And the boss is Konditormeister Frank.
Go.
I can't wait to try and make one myself.
So can you take us through the process?
Me,
Where does it all start?
The dough is made with fresh ingredients. And you have an open fire with gas.
Ma.
And you bake it layer by layer.
Ma.
I've never seen anything like this before.
La, la,
The cake
la,
batter
la,
coats the horizontal
la,
spits, and they slowly rotate as the batter is cooked by grills at the back. It's strangely similar to a kebab machine laid on its side.
Da,
fascinating to watch.
Thankfully, I'm not on the egg cake machine, but a single Baumkuchen machine at the back.
So what is this? Flour, eggs?
Do me so.
Spices.
The only rice laced in it is the egg.
La, la, la,
Otherwise you could be
la,
Konditormeisters
da, da, do.
As each layer roasts, it caramelizes. Cake. This gives the Baumkuchen its intense flavor right through.
cake to me. And the idea is really strong. What I'm trying to figure out, you know the rolls that you do, it goes like this. How do you do that?
You see,
You want to have a go?
There?
Yeah? And hold it in an angle. Yeah.
La, la,
That's it. Just dip it.
la,
Pull it towards you. Strip it off. Perfect.
After baking, they are cooled before being cut and glazed in a variety of ways.
It's beautiful.
Perfect German precision in a 500-year-old cake. A fitting end to my first day.
We're going to have to try and take one of those over with. We're going to get that on the phone.
Next, I get a taste of good old-fashioned Bavarian hospitality. I'm sent round the test baking a local delicacy. I take inspiration from this warm-hearted city to create a Dampfnudel, a delicious Munich pudding that is great baked at home. My adventures around the world's best baking cities have brought me to Munich in Germany. It's a city with a gentle, almost village-like feel, where the only high rises are the church spires and this, the tower on the magnificent town hall. And I've been allowed up to get a view over the rooftops.
Now we've got to go up to the top, and this is a very tight staircase. Like a that looked like you actually, that bit. What gets me is this view here. Panoramic view of the Everything baked so
Do not leave. La dee dee dee. La 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 la. Da make me make me do do da da do not leave.
Delicately spiced with fennel, caraway, coriander,
Me
Again, strong.
la 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 do 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 me
Yeah, let's
da
have another one.
da
You need
do do Danny
I'm meeting up again with my friend Falco.
Me,
He's invited
me,
me out for dinner
me,
in one of the most famous vehicles in UK. Under a magnificent vaulted ceiling, an umpire band plays beer and drunk by the liter.
Lati, me,
That's just brilliant.
do not leave. Oh, do re mi fa so da da do do la 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 do not leave. See la 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 da da do boo Danny boo ma 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 la 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 me do do ga rar me la la da nay me la 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 do 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 la 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 do do la 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 da da don't me so da da do re be re ba ba re do me so da da do ga rar me la 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 don't me so la 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 do re mi fa so la 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 do re be ba re do za 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 la 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 Flowers of Prince Abigail, sea glaciers, blood plums, swing park, za 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 za. Do 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 re be re do za za ba 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 ba. See me swim, hush, do we za 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 za.